Hello traders, today is June 7th. What we're going to look at today is a little bit of scalping the markets using the software called the Trade Scalper. So the Trade Scalper software is very popular. It's used on NinjaTrader, but you can trade it manually as well because we actually explain to you how the method works in order for you to be able to trade different markets, or if you're using a different charting platform, you're not using NinjaTrader. Now, before we begin, remember that trading is risky. Please don't trade with funds you cannot afford to lose. There are risks involved with trading. So what the Trade Scalper does, it provides you a signal, also an audible alert, so you can hear and see a signal to be a buyer or to be a seller. And when that happens, we have the opportunity to enter into the market. Now, there are a couple of rules with the Trade Scalper software. The first thing is we shouldn't trade when the market is overly volatile. So you see that ATR there on the bottom, the average true range. It helps me understand if the market's too strong or too fast. Not that you can't trade, I just think that if the market's too strong, it becomes risky. Or if the market is too slow, that also tells me it's not worth trading. There's no movement. So we have a signal here. I'm not sure if you heard that doorbell or that audible alert. So there's a sound also that alerts you to a signal. So the entry is about 42.97. So at this point, what we want to do is enter as a seller. We're going to short the market at about 42.97. And once we're filled, if we get filled, right? So we're not always going to get filled, but once we get filled at that price, or you can just jump in. A lot of traders just like to enter into the market right as they see a signal. Let me just add here a few things so you can see the text and marker of the order. You can use an entry immediately once the signal is produced. Now, a couple of things with that. A 1-minute chart is what I recommend when using the Trade Scalper, but you can use a tick chart or a range chart if you want. And that way, you'll be able to enter immediately. You don't have to wait for the minute to be over. Now, the other thing we're going to look at is what about a specific target and a stop. So typically, when you look at the type of target and the stop to use, you should have an idea of the current market conditions. I'm using the ATM strategy of NinjaTrader, which automates the targets and the stops for me. So I say I want a point or 2 points or 3 points or 8 ticks or 10 ticks, and it automatically places the target for what I want and the stop for what I want. Now, we want to maximize the target, obviously, the profit. We want to maximize that profit potential. So if you look at the ATR, the average true range, it has a value of 3.62. Now, in reality, 3.62 doesn't exist. It's either 3 points or 3.25 points or 3.5 points, because on the E-mini S&P, every quarter-point increment is the smallest tick increment, either up or down. So I'm going to choose a value for a target that is based on the current conditions, which I believe the market can achieve. Now, you can adjust this. You can take 3 ticks on every trade or 10 ticks on every trade. It doesn't matter. I'm going to push this a little bit closer to 3 points, which is 12 ticks. 12 ticks is what the market is currently producing, meaning the high to low of the last 4 candles on average have been about 3 points or 12 ticks. So that's really what it's indicating to me, that the volatility, the candles, and the distance that these candles are moving are able to reproduce 12 ticks of movement. So I want 12 ticks in my favor. So I've adjusted the target manually on the chart trader to 12 ticks. So what we know so far is the entry, which is really important. The entry is half the battle, which is the price that I got filled at, more or less 42.97, 96.75. I'm short the market based on the Trade Scalper signal. Now I want to manage the trade. So that's the other half of the equation of becoming a successful trader, is managing the trade. A couple of things about managing the trade. First off, you should never hold on to a position for hours on end. We have a specific target, and we want this target to be achieved sooner, much sooner, rather than later. So if you're holding on to a position that is for hours on end without any results, it's always best to close the position. So I consider that a type of time-based stop, or a time element, where we're limiting the amount of time that we're in the trade. So as an example, this trade here that is trying to achieve 3 points, if after a certain amount of time it doesn't hit that target, then obviously there's no reason for me to be in the market or be in the trade because things have changed, right? We're entering for a reason. We want that to be fulfilled sooner rather than later. The next thing is if we have another signal, and let's say it's a long signal, which is opposite of the position we're in, that's a conflict. We need to either get out of the current sell position, reevaluate, maybe go long. And lastly, if you're looking at managing a trade and right now it tries and tries and tries without hitting this target, but yet it's very close. Maybe it's within 2 or 3 ticks of making the 12 ticks or 3 points. It's always best to close the position manually as well. So managing the trade is something that we teach during the live training that we include with the TradeScalper software, and you can learn all about how we manage the trade, the times where we should be trading. For example, trading right as the market opens is sometimes a little bit tricky because of the volatility, or trading right as the market is about to close is also not a very good idea because there's a squeeze on day traders who are trading on margin, and therefore you don't want to be in the market within the last, let's say, 20 minutes, half hour, because usually the market accelerates and is a little unpredictable at that time. And also there's news events that we should be cautious with. Today being Wednesday, usually there's FOMC on Wednesday, so we have to be careful during those times where the FOMC produces their reports. The other thing is try not to move your stops. The stops are there to protect you. Just follow the instructions that are in the course and the program. We also teach these same trade managements during the live training. Now the TradeScalper can be purchased as a 6-month license, or it's included with a lifetime license with accelerated mentorship. You can also get a free member account if you haven't done so already. For the new traders who want to get interested, want to get involved into this world of trading, you can get a free member account. You can download the trading platform. You can get the news indicator as well as the ABC course for free, so you can learn a little bit on how price action works. Waiting for this target of 42.94, which is just hit just now, to be filled. And so for some traders, this is all they need. They just need one trade and done. If you're looking for a follow-up signal, another opportunity to be a buyer or to be a seller, just follow the signals for the TradeScalper. If you have any questions, visit Daytradetowin.com. I look forward to seeing you at the next video. And there's another signal here to go short. Once again, 42, looks like 92, 95, 42, 92, 50. Okay. If you're new to day trading and want to learn more on the benefits of trading the markets, visit Daytradetowin.com, join the next mentorship class starting later this month, and subscribe to the Day Trade to Win YouTube channel. We focus on price action and work exclusively with new and beginner traders who want to learn more on how to prosper from trading.